Thought to start off with something nice and chilled this morning. As you can see, morning 10 people. Morning Jason, morning Angie. I've actually come on with a subject today, which isn't like me, but it is something that I haven't been directly involved in, but people have tried to involve me in, and that's targeted and targeting of people. Chubby was complicit completely with what was happening on his channel the other night. He knows who the blag accounts were. He must do, because he modded them. He's been played. He's been complicit. He's been complicit. He's been played like a fucking flute. I can just see it. He's been played. He's been played like a fucking flute, and he's got no one to blame but himself. No one to blame but himself. And it's been done with military precision, shall we say. Very, 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 very well thought out and well organised. And I do mean organised. That wasn't off the cuff. That wasn't off the cuff. No way that was off the cuff. No way. So yeah, Chubby, if you're still awake and ranting and threatening to strike people's channels, it's your own fault, fella. You were fully complicit, and you got no one to blame but yourself. You know, playing a game like that, it's not funny. It's dangerous. It's not funny. It's dangerous. You know, trying to play people off against each other that obviously aren't even there. You know. Good morning.
Morning, Squire. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Cool, man. Cool. It's funny you're talking about that. I just looked at some notifications, and Chubby said there's a Gripper's channel's put a hit out on you, and who else? He says someone else's channel's next. Let me just go to where it was.
Yeah, it's targeted all over, you know.
Yeah. Oh, so here it is. I've got it word for word. Gripper's channel has a hit out on you for bullying. And then it goes, Ron's channel is next for his bullying, sorry.
Yeah.
So I'll just put rat cunt in that one, yeah. Right.
No fucking bullying going on. Like I say, he was completely complicit in what was going on the other night.
Oh no.
He was in it up to his fucking nuts. He loved it. There's no other way of putting it. He was fucking loving it. I haven't watched it. No, people
the thing is, I'm confused though, mate, because Gripper's let him on and it's all forgiven, isn't it?
No, he's gone. He was on again this morning. I didn't see Grippers through the night, but I think Chubbs was kicked off through the night, and he's been back on this morning, ranting and raving and threatening.
Yeah.
So
I told him I unsubscribed. I had to with my moral compass.
Well, I did. I had to. Someone put in Gripper's chat earlier that he'd gone live, so I went and had a quick look and just to see what he was talking about, and all he was really doing was calling on people to come to his defence and report Gripper and Ron, or you know, virtually attack their channels via the chat, I suppose. You know, he was calling, "Where's my trolls? Where's my trolls at?" And I'm thinking, fucking hell, Chubby, just, you know, you've been 100% complicit in it. 100%.
Yeah, I agree.
There is no, you know, I haven't said anything much about it because, you know, it's obvious that, you know, there's people there that were trying to cause friction for me as well. So, but it didn't work because, you know, the people who they were trying to cause it with were seeing what was happening as well. You know, I had a few messages in the morning, so I knew already that something had gone on, so I would at some point have to explain that, it obviously wasn't fucking me, and it's obvious it wasn't me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's all YouTube fun and games. It's all YouTube fun and games.
Yeah, he reckons there's there's just going to be more claims, isn't it?
Well, I can't see what for. Just for saying his name,
Well,
it's not even his real name. It's not his real name, so that's about the only thing he can complain about, but not if he's on panel or whatever.
well, he's quite controversial as well, isn't
he? Yeah.
I was fascinated at first. I thought he was like quite dry-witted, but then I see the way it's the pattern of behaviour.
Yeah, I've always got his sense of humour and whatnot.
Yeah.
But he's showed his true colours. I've always given him the time of day until he did that on his live the other night. So,
Yeah.
You won't get the time of day from me again.
He come on Grippers saying it weren't me, it's my clone army. I was just laughing to myself, thinking, "You're not fooling anyone, man."
No.
Yeah.
No, he was complicit. He was loving it.
That's this. Still, I mean, if that's how people get their kicks.
Yeah.
How long's Chubby been about then? Because I don't know. How long's he been about?
Not sure. I've known of him for about 8 months, probably.
Oh, there you go.
Myself, but I haven't been around that long, so I've only been around about 18 months now. So, about 8 months, something like that.
Yeah, I like your American "I killed my wife" videos. I love them. Mate. I fucking love them.
I got you, Joe.
Good, man.
Morning, son. So, what madness did I miss?
Hey, Joe.
I just actually did a live with an actual title for a change, and that's about Chubby being complicit in all that fucking nonsense the other night.
What was that like? What night we on? What night we on? We on like, if it's after Wednesday, then I wouldn't have been there.
Wednesday or Thursday when there was loads of clone accounts in.
It must have been Thursday because I never saw loads of things on Wednesday.
He modded them all up, and there was fucking mayhem. Apparently, there was a fake Master Ron modded up. There was a fake.
Right, I remember that fake Master Ron, fake you, fake Mary Moon. I think that was the Tuesday or Wednesday. That's what that was.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, but I haven't really addressed it. But hearing Chubby a couple of times, and he was fully complicit. He was fully complicit in it.
It's a tough one for me, because as clones of me out there, right? And granted, they behave better than me, right? Which is probably why I didn't want about it. You know what I mean? They didn't seem to get me any bother, if you get what I mean. So I can get the idea, but it's like, if you're going to stop one clone, you have to stop them all. If you get what I mean? I said that on somebody's panel the other day there. I wasn't trying to be a dick about it. It was just like, you're going to get good clones, you're going to get bad clones. If we accept one, we need to accept them all, unfortunately. But it would be advantageous if everybody had clones that were reasonably all right. You know what I mean? It would be fun because I think I've got 3, and I think they give everybody less. Most people say they prefer my clones to me. To be fair, I've been told this many times. Like your clone better than you, Joe. It's nicer. Puts nice in the chat with love hearts, not just nice. That kind of stuff.
They're pretty nice to me. My clones are, but as for Chubby and Courage and all that the other night, he's got no one to blame but himself. People having a go at him and being fucking.
I can see why folk are having a go at him. To be fair, it's not just because of the clones. It's a combination of the clones. Every time he said similar stuff to take Charles down and all this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And all the other bullshit. It's just 1, 2, 3. It's just like building blocks, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it. He was screaming and shouting this morning on Grippers about reporting fucking Gripper and
right. I saw Yogi's video with Shady greeting him because he got kicked off.
Oh, I saw a little bit of some. Is it Shady sides for Society X or something and the tax gripper.
Aye, something like that. Aye, that was the thing.
He sat there covered in all that fucking toilet block he'd been eating or whatever it fucking was.
Or was that toilet block? Somebody in Yogi's chat said he's been at the back of shops again. Obviously, dumpster diver.
Dumpster diving for out WKDs.
You know a lot, Joe. What can you tell me about Ultra?
What can I tell you about Ultra?
Yeah.
I get on all right with Ultra. What's your problem?
Mine.
Sorry, he's a mod.
I know. There's a fake Ultra cutting about. I know AG had a fake Ultra. Aye, when Ultra and AG were having a bit of spat, AG made a fake Ultra. So I know that much. But he's always been all right with me, Ultra. To be fair, I get banter with him. He'll take the piss, but I didn't take it to heart, and I give it back, and he doesn't take it to heart. If you get what I mean. So
yeah.
You get what I mean? He seems all right to me, to be fair.
Cool. That's all right. All right, man.
You know what I mean? But like, get on the wrong side of him, and he'll come for you.
Yeah, there you go.
But what I've seen him with Ice and a few other folk. Ken.
God, they're always bitching in the chat, aren't they?
Nah, that's just banter, mate. That's just wordplay. You know what I mean? If you look at what he's saying, right, 9 times out of 10, it's just wordplay. It's just that word that's being used can be used another way, and it just gets given. Like I do that a lot of the time as well, wordplay, to be fair. That's how I get a lot of my laughs. You know what I mean? Sarcasm is the lowest form of humour with the highest penetration rates for laughter. But unfortunately, 25% of the 100% will get black front offended by it. That joke,
Joe,
you know what I mean?
There's a wonderful video going about of you and your mate. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's quite well edited. I've seen
Fucking
the first couple of seconds of it. I was like, fuck off.
Fucking hilarious. I laughed my God. So good.
No, but look, you got to realise it's not going to bore me and Catty. Like we're both as straight as you can get. You know what I mean?
Of course.
They fucking get it. They're editing.
Just that speeded up and that, and it was a good. It made the song even better. You know.
Aye, man. There was somebody on the panel, right? Kenny, fucking Catty lost it. Like fucking you. Cunt fucked off the panel and came back a couple of minutes later to apologise. I was pissing myself. I was like, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, who was that? I do remember that. Who was
that? Yeah, but it gets a bit mad with Catty, like, You know what I mean?
It seemed like good fun to me. We were all entertained. You lot were having a laugh. So.
Aye, man, you get a good laugh, man. But it's like chaos the next again day. It's like fucking hell. Look at the neck of the place, man. Nah, who was it clipped it anyway? Who was it made the thing with? Who put it up? I only saw a tiny bit yet.
I will not conform. I think a few people did it, but I will not conform.
Oh, right, aye.
He's got the best one.
Aye. He would go the lowest, wouldn't he?
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
it's all good, man. We all know clipping's illegal, eh?
Did you say illegal?
For YouTube, aye.
Oh.
Unless you've got permission, and you need to have permission, and not just the host, the people whose content it is, which is the faces you're using, that's their content.
But if they speed it up and do this and that, it make it sort of not the same.
Well, you can think that, right? But since it's tried to say that I'm gay, I'm going to say that that's a hate crime.
I don't think it really went out its way to explain.
Well, that is a hate crime, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
To be fair,
but,
in the current climate, the way the legislation works, it's a hate crime. To be fair, right?
Yeah.
And we all know this. And I don't think I've gave anybody permission to clip me ever, apart from Jack your body.
Oh yeah.
Because why would I be upset with Harney, my friend? But if it's somebody that doesn't like me, and I don't like them, that's a hate crime.
Right. Yeah.
But my name's no Society X, so I'll not be phoning the popo or fuck off, to be fair.
Well, you're not a grass either.
Exactly, man. I'll just laugh at it, man. Take the piss and say that's a hate crime. Ooh. Take the piss, you know what I mean? At the end of the day. A couple of them, they're going to get upset. It's a fucking clip. It takes the mickey. So what? It'll be Catty that gets upset. He's the one you really need to watch for, not me. To be fair, he's the one that's looking at 7.5 years at the end of July. Not a care in the world.
Wow.
He'll get 5 if he pleads to it, 7.5 if he does it. But he's not pleading to it. You know what I mean? So he's, you get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it is what it is, eh? You know what I mean? I think he tells you all that every time he's been on, to be fair. He actually tells you all,
He
go and
did
Google
say
my
it
name.
yesterday.
Go Google my fucking name and all that shit, man. I'm like, Catty did that, man. That ain't good. You know what I mean? But he's a lovable rogue, really, eh, to be fair. Just gets himself into some weird situations.
Right. Aggro is aggro, isn't it?
Aye, man. Aye, man. He can only take so much and then he flipped his banner. You know what I mean?
Well, wish him the best anyway. Fucking hell.
Aye, man, obviously, man. I'll be
Yeah.
going up with him as well, more than likely. You know what I mean?
That seemed like a good drink you guys had, man. That was
Oh,
cool.
that was fucking, that's the first time I've ever had that. That was something called the Kraken.
Yeah, I know about the Kraken. Not
bad, like just with ice. Just with ice, it was alright.
Yeah. Don't take the piss. Don't twist it on me. A friend, his brother brought back him a bottle of what's it, black cock, and it had a cobra in it.
That's different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've got a bottle of Chinese liqueur I bought back from Portugal. It's got fucking lizards in it.
Right, there you go. Exactly. Yeah. Fucking hell.
Well, I've never been that adventurous to be drinking black cock with
it's
hyphens
from
in it and that. You know what I mean? I've had
it's from Thailand.
I've had
hence
it was,
the
I think it was Black Death or something like that, or it was a skull. It was tequila and it had fucking. It wasn't just a worm that was in it. It had some other mad shit in it from Mexico as well.
Right.
Had that like in Cancun and shit, but that's a bit bad. The only other weirdest thing I've ever drunk was it was something that the Fijians joined the Royal Scots brung with them, right? And they would get like a big 90-litre bucket, and they would put these like they would go into London and this like almost like a Chinese herbal shop, but not a Chinese herbal shop. Herbs for around the world and all this kind of stuff, right? Like one of these world food places. They would go in there and they would buy these like roots, stick them in a pair of tights, and then leave them in the water whilst straining them for like days. Aye, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Eventually, this water would just look like muddy water, but they would just put a pint glass in that and you drink it. And I swear to fuck people, you would go numb for the feet up after about 2 pints. Like you were literally playing punch for punch and kick for kick with Fijians that were actually members of the Fijian national rugby squad, because half the Fijian national rugby team were in the Fijian army and they got recruited at the Edinburgh Tattoo in the 90s. So we had like Vakavuravu, Bakavaria, Kinoko, and all that kind of stuff. But they actually played for the Fijian national team. They were in the Royal Scots. They played for the British Army rugby team too. You know what I mean? But like were these fuckers were punching you and you couldn't feel a fucking thing. You couldn't feel nothing, man. It was like surreal. You were like flying Superman punches at each other and shit like that. You know what I mean? And the next thing in the morning, we all actually got charged for it, like, because we're all black and blue, you know what I mean? But still pissed. Like, this stuff was lethal, man. It was fucking terrible.
Sounds
I couldn't even tell you what it was. It was some mad root.
Yeah, they're lunatics when they have that stuff. And
dude, it was mental, ministry. Crazy.
Like, a lot of them now, the Fijians, a lot of the rugby league internationals, they play for top teams, but they're still actually in the army.
Yeah, there was a boy. I think he got done. He was playing for Edinburgh, I think, in the 90s, and he actually got charged for like slapping his wife about and all that, because that's normal over there, obviously. You know what I mean? No here, but you know, he got charged for it. But I think that was Bavaria when he played for them. But then he ended up going down south, I believe, like you know what I mean, playing for somebody down there. They were all playing for rugby league and all that, like.
Yeah,
making decent money whilst being in the fucking army and all that shit, man.
Yeah, making really good money. Really good money.
But because they were playing for the army rugby team, it's you're a tracksuit warrior. You know, you're not doing nothing else anywhere, so they may as well let you go and get a normal job. Because you're just sitting in the camp. As long as you're there doing your training when they want you doing your training, you know what I mean? Which isn't all day, every day, to be fair. You know what I mean? It's a couple of hours a day, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, a couple of hours a day. Yeah, they're training probably.
Big Guido and Sergeant Pennycook, the Royal Scot OC. My OC was Guido, right? And Pennycook was my quartermaster, and they actually work in the Scottish national rugby team setup.
Nice. I do like my rugby. I love it.
I'm not that keen on it, to be fair. I've not got the build for it. Yeah, like I'd be a winger, but then there'd be all these big fat bastards which snap me. Yeah. You get what I mean? I don't care what anybody says. You can only dodge fucking bone grinding tackles for so long before some cunt plants you. And
yeah.
If you've not got the build for it, man, you're getting snapped. To be fair, you know what I mean?
Yeah, my shoulders and fucking lower back are ruined from playing rugby. Absolutely ruined.
I've got fucking rods and pins in one of my shoulders, man. My knees are fucked there. You know what I mean? But oh well. So fucking, is he still greeting about you, moaning about fucking these fucking clones then, basically?
Yeah. Like I saw him. All I've seen really is this morning. I haven't seen anything of Chubby since said incident, which I wasn't fucking bothered about anyway, you know. And then he jumped on Grips this morning, and Ron wanted to ask him one question, and he wouldn't answer it. He wanted Ron to keep asking the question, which Ron was obviously not going to do, so he was just being antagonistic. Yeah. So Griffiths said, "You're banned for life. Get to fuck like." So
did they do ban him for life?
Yeah, he's banned him for good.
That's up to Grips. It's Grips' show.
Yep.
You know, at the end of the day, and to be fair, everybody kens that the clone's more than likely going to be Trinkle.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're buddies.
You know what I mean? So
it goes on that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be people that are friendly with him, you know.
You know what I mean? We know who they roughly are. I mean, I get on the right with Chubby. I take the piss out of him every now and again, DWP grass and all that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I actually get on no bad with him, to be fair. I give him a bit of grief and that now and again, but I give everybody grief, at the end of the day. So
yeah, I get on with him, or I've done it until now. Like I haven't spoken to him since, but I do think. He's just been completely complicit in his own fucking
actions.
What he's had come his way. Yeah, he's been completely complicit. You expect, it's no good whinging when fucking Gripper says, right, you're not allowed on anymore because you're trying to make a panelist fucking say a word that he doesn't want to say again and just being antagonistic about it. So,
That's a fair comment, man. I mean, I don't understand. Like, see, when folk get blocked and that, they get upset, right? Yeah, I can understand if you've got blocked for something like a rogue mod, and you're blocked in the chat and that, right? Okay, you're dumb fuck all, I can get it. But when a host says like, "Nah, fuck you," like, what's the point? Like, I've never been back to BBA. I've never even been in his chat. And since Society X told Gripper to ban me and Zara, I've never went to his either, have I? You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Once they make it predominantly clear, then what's the point? If you're going back, all you're actually doing is antagonising them. That's the only reason you're going back.
Yeah, yeah.
To be fair,
yeah,
because you're butthurt. But like, for me, it doesn't. It's immaterial. Like, what's the point? I don't get it, but you know what I mean. If somebody comes for you, then fine, go for them. You know what I mean? Fair comment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they just didn't want you to go on their panel anymore because one, can you annoy them, you annoy people, or two, which is most of the time for a lot of people, you're more intelligent than them and you know more about current affairs and they're gimp, and you quite easily make them look stupid. You know what I mean? To be fair, you know.
I'm just laughing. He commented earlier, Joe, like an hour ago, and he put after my live, he's put Gripper's channel has a hit out on it for bullying. And then it says, Ron's channel is next. He's for bullying.
Yeah, but like, to be fair, right? His MO is to wind you up.
Yeah. I think it's, But is he dangerous? I think he is.
Dude, I couldn't tell you. That, like, everybody who's a bit like that, right? They all seemingly have friends on YouTube, don't they? Yeah,
I
they
think
all seemingly have contacts. You
and
get
a
what I'm
bit
saying?
yeah. I think
So,
he's been a bit naive, to be honest.
aye, is that a tool? If you get what I'm saying, or is that true? You get what I mean? Because it could be true. Because most people that would have friends on YouTube would be more of a cunt, wouldn't they?
Yeah,
With that as a fallback. But if they didn't know somebody, they're still going to be a bit much a cunt and use that as their make believe fallback to make you wonder. Well, just like you did there, because you're like, is he a bit dangerous? That's because you're wondering. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get what I mean? Is it
he's
because
doing his
when you
job.
say I know people in YouTube and they seem to get away with stuff, like Crinkle, like the Fat Magician, like Chubby. You know
I
what I'm
don't
saying?
think he's dangerous. He may be dangerous in the sense of disrupting channels, but I don't think he's dangerous. This last sort of week or so, he's been fucking complicit. He's been naive, and I think he's thought that he's going to get more out of it.
It's been sunny weather for a week. Let's be fair, he's probably out in the pub most of the day.
Probably, yeah.
You know what I
Probably.
mean? Enjoying the weather, and then by the time it's that time in the morning, he's pretty drunk. It's probably just that. To be fair, I don't know. Like I've never seen anybody say that he's reported them. To be fair, I've never seen anybody come to the table with a strike or a report that's got his name attached to it.
Well, it's social.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless any use have. I mean, I'm just being honest. You know what I mean? I've never seen anybody. I've heard people say he's threatened to report me. He's requested people that mass report and all this kind of stuff. But I've never actually ever seen anybody turn up and say, "Here's the strike." Kind of like we saw with Fisher, aye? Yeah.
Yeah.
The strike was brought up. There you go. You did strike at Fisher. She went, "No, I reported it," and it was like, "Well, no, the report's just saying the same thing as strike now." Blah 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 blah. Whatever.
Only
Right? But we got to see that, didn't we?
Yeah.
You get what I mean? I've never seen anybody produce anything saying that Chubby has struck them. You know what I mean?
No, he threatened. He was on my panel and threatened to report my channel or strike my channel, and it was a joke, and I took it as a joke, but other people on the panel didn't. But that's because he threatened to report channels, previously, and the threats were taken seriously. But I took it completely as a joke because of his dry sense of humour.
Who are you talking about now, Reese? Is it?
No, Chubby.
Chubby. You're awfully low. You're awfully low, right or wrong, bro. I don't know if that's just your mic or if it's me. Just then.
What's the matter? Is it not good, Joe? Is it?
No, just the volume's quite low for you.
Oh, right. I'll have to turn it up a bit then, see what happens.
I'm on loudspeaker on the phone, dude. I've not got headphones on, unfortunately.
I can do it this side, Ty.
Yeah, go on then, turn me up a bit. Make me loud. Morning, Jason. Morning, Joe.
How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing good, boy. Doing good.
Have you got the wet weather this morning?
We had a drop overnight, ministry. It's pretty dry, but it's humid as fuck.
Yeah, it started here about half hour ago.
Yeah.
It's cooled everything down a little bit.
Yeah. I woke up, I guess. Go on, Joe.
A few grey skies coming in for the west, it looks like, for the west-south. But when I look up northeast, it's still nice and sunny.
Oh, so going back to the chat about Chubby, I seen him go. I just watched Gripper's back a bit, just fast forwarding through different things, and I seen him on there, and he's banned for life, as someone else would say.
Yeah, that's what ministry felt me. I giggled at that, banned for life.
Yeah, strange old world, YouTube, isn't it? Huh?
Isn't it?
Yeah, but
Indeed.
Down the Chubby drain.
I can understand, like, I said this, right, about the clones, right? It says, like, if we're going to ban one type of clone, we have to ban them all. And for me, that's kind of grim, because my clones are actually liked more than me. you know. But they didn't go around doing what some other clones do. And I can understand why folk would be a bit disimpressed and feel cunts are disingenuous when it's clones that are going saying things about people, and that's going to get them pulled up, if you get what I mean. At the end of the day, I can get that, you know. This seems a bit fucking fucked up to me, to be fair.
There were some interesting parts on Grippers last night. Some people opening up their private lives on there, you know.
I wasn't there, so I don't know, Ken.
Morning, Robert.
It's Rabbi.
Yes, Robert. Morning, Robert.
Morning, gentlemen.
Morning, Robert.
Morning.
How you doing, Robert?
I just seen a video then of what's his name?
I heard there must have been some carry on last night. I missed it, Ottie. Again.
Shady calling Gripper rotten. Yes.
Oh, I seen a bit of his
Yeah.
live, well, whatever he put up a wee while ago. I caught it when I woke up. But I mean, do we really need Shady on the chat, to be honest?
Oh, he's a waste of space. What the fuck did he have on his fingers? All his fingers are blue.
It was all blue, so was his face. I noticed that.
Yeah. I thought he had been eating toilet deck or drinking it, Ministry. You're right, Dan. That's what's
well, Yogi reckoned he'd ruined the back of the shops again doing dumpster diving.
That's one way to detox the liver, I suppose.
I mean, he's moaning about getting timed out, but after the things he's done over the past, people don't really want him on. Only certain people will let him on now. But it's his own fault. Nobody else. I quite liked Shady Tate. That was the best of it. But he kind of went down that rocky road. I mean, once he started attacking kiddies, and you can't come back for that. It's that simple.
Henry seems to be getting his way back on a lot of channels lately.
Well,
way back.
If he pays £500, Tyrone.
But like, you do realise, like, see that, right? You do realise that you can make fake super chats, yeah? Right?
Yes.
You know that, yeah? And you do realise that most of the grifters utilise fake super chats to make other people super chat. It's a ploy. It's a marketing ploy. If I put in, say I put in a fiver, there'll be somebody wanting to outbid me. There's somebody want to go in the leader at top of that leader table, right? So if you're only getting like your 199s and your £3 then get a couple of your mates to go and put in 10s and 20s and watch it go to 25. And these 10s and 20s are fake. They don't have to be real money and then give their mates back because you're going to lose 30% on that. That doesn't make sense. You can make fake super chats. People need to keep that in mind when they're watching these things. Hey, to be fair, when it's all set up for a certain way, if you get what I mean, that makes sense.
I tell you, Joe, see when BBA was going down to see Andrew, when Andrew was in a really bad way, I gave him 25 quid, right? I fired 25 quid in, but the fucking last money I ever put into YouTube. And
dude, that was a weird thing, that, to be fair. It was a nice gesture, but it was weird that they took him to the pub.
Weird that they took him to the pub and bought him a fucking scabby red hoodie that cost 30 quid. When there was probably fucking hundreds upon hundreds of pounds.
You might for a minute.
I never donated this, though. And I never saw the live either, to be fair. Because I was one of the ones that was like, fuck you should.
Morning, Mr. Deegan.
To be fair.
Yogi's World, Johnny Kendra,
John Kendra, morning, yeah. Mr. D.
Social Storyteller, Matt Walker, morning, everybody. Sorry, I can't type this morning.
So you think that, Joe? Do you think that that super chat on Societies was all a fiddle or fix?
Dude, I don't know. I didn't watch his stuff, right? I said this earlier to Ministry and that, like, when he came in and told Gripper that he should ban me and Zara, I've never been back. I've never watched any shit. That told me a lot. Like, nah, fuck you dafty.
He's a snidey.
You didn't like the harsh truths. You know what I mean? You didn't like the harsh truths. You didn't like it. You didn't like it when you get shown up for being exactly the same as what you're running about saying is naughty. You know what I mean? You do the exact same shit, just in a different way. So I couldn't tell you, but I do know it is physically possible to do it. And I do know 100% for sure that there is people on YouTube that utilize it exactly the way I just fucking said to you, right? Because I've heard it. I've like, seriously. I've not been on YouTube for like 4 years, right? You know what I mean? I've been on YouTube for over 20 odd years. I've run my own forums and all that kind of shit. I've had VIP memberships and all this kind of stuff. I know how it works. I choose not to do it nowadays because you just get fucked up the ass by your pip and all that shit, and it takes away your safety net, right? You know what I mean? But that's the other thing. Society X is going to have to prove. I mean, that's his ESA going, isn't it? Because 500 quid's more than what you're entitled to make in a month, mate.
So he's losing his money.
And when I look at this, right, like how many hours you're allowed to put into work. Well, Society X, you're only allowed to go live for 21 hours, bro. Any more than that, then you're over exceeding your disability limits if you're using this as a revenue stream. See, what if you could actually like didn't get what I'm telling you is everything for DWP is done by AI now.
Yeah.
And it's all interlinked with the whole banking system. Yeah. And it's all crawling everything. That's just how Independent Free Press 1918 got caught. And he had to give back all his donations on his PayPal because he couldn't lift the money out his PayPal because he had used a fake name on the PayPal. And when he went to lift money out, they wanted to then verify who he was, and he couldn't do that. And he had to give them all back. And that was like 2 years ago. No shit. And that was one of the local crew, local experimental. Independent Free Press 1916 or 1918 or something like that it was. And everybody back then was getting freaked out because folk were grassing them up, and they weren't they? That was when they started putting AI into everything to do with DWP. Everything. It's now in the tax. It's now in custom and excise, which means it's in tax now, which means YouTube is telling the government how much they're giving him on a monthly basis.
So
YouTube declares, and how you know this, right? They don't say we give him this X amount, but they say we made X amount off him, which equals 30% of the total.
So what are you saying then?
Declare how much they make off his channel, You get what I'm saying?
YouTube have got to legally tell, the authorities that
legally telling
they legally have to tell the authorities how much money they make off of his page.
Right.
So, and they only make 30%, don't they?
Right.
So if YouTube make, say, just for argument's sake, £3,000 in a year, that means he made 30. Simple math. And AI does that simple math. No anybody phoning up, man. This is why, like, I didn't understand why, if it is things like fake super chats, why you would be doing that. You know what I mean? Because it's not for me to say, you know what I mean? But it's too easy for it to be picked apart, to be fair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I did like I said, that's why I didn't do that sort of shit. You know what I mean? I didn't like put out grifter links. I didn't even ask people to do anything for charity or fuck all or anything.
But
you know what I mean? Because
I've told you all before, Joe, on here, I've noticed a pattern. First of all, they picked on you. Then it was, well, no, they're picking on Gripper now. Ministry's had it. They've picked on Ministry too. I mean, let's be honest. They've all had a go. Anybody that gets more than their views, or people are no going to their room now because we're coming to Ministries or we're going to Grippers, they're a target now. It's simple as that. And it's a group of them that are doing it, and you can all see it.
It's never been any different, man. That's
no, but it's getting worse now, Joe.
No, it's no. What happens is, right? Listen, this is what I suggest everybody does, right? This is what you do, right? If you think it's getting worse, it's just getting more obvious, right? What you need to do is you go and take 2-3 days away from YouTube, right? And you didn't watch nothing. And then when you come back, you see it even more. Because you're like, no way, this is still ongoing. Because it started off as bullshit, and then you see how it's grown into something completely new because the Chinese whispers adding a wee bit on.
Whenever money's involved, Joe, you know what it's like. They'll cut your throat. Of course,
people get very protective.
Greedy.
Protective, greedy, same difference.
And that's see these. I can fault. I'm one of these guys. See, when I meet you once, I make my mind up within 30 seconds whether I like you or I don't, and I've always been like that. And I've still yet to be proved wrong.
Well, the thing is, whether people like it or no, I think the way it works on YouTube now, if you can be monetized, you should be monetized, because if you're not monetized, YouTube's making 100% of your back,
Aye.
and they should only be getting. You should be limiting how much Alphabet makes, because we all know YouTube ain't the best fucking multinational company in the world, are they? Do you get what I mean? Aye. So you should want to limit how much they make technically. So being monetized nowadays, like back in the day, like it only changed like maybe about a year ago or something like that when the last update in the T's and C's.
Mallow fingers.
It used to be that if you refused to be monetized, YouTube couldn't actually make any money off your channel.
Too early you know? For Mallow fingers. Come on, you.
But now, if you refuse to be monetized, they monetize you anyway and make 100% off your back. That's the T's and C's now. So I think if you can be monetized, you should be monetized. You know what I mean? But you can turn things like super chats off and all that kind of stuff. You didn't have to turn them on.
I don't disagree with MD making money, Joe. I'm all into making money. I've retired. I don't need to make any money. But younger people out there are entitled to make a decent living, just like anybody. And on here's the same, right? And I'm quite happy for Ministry to make money and Gripper to make money and Yogi, anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Your Jamies, all the rest of them, they're all here to do the one thing, and that's make money. But not at the expense of other people.
Aye, but the thing is, you talking about that donation that you got fucking off that boy, that like the evangelist guy. You talking about that kind of shit? You didn't even care if that was real. You don't know if that was real or no. And you'll never know, really.
No, unless Jamie releases and bank details and stuff.
Why would he need to do that? To be fair,
why should he?
Why should he? Like that TV is like fucking shite as well.
I just don't like the backstabbing Ministry, right? I don't like the backstabbing. That's the only thing. I'm just fed up listening to everybody having a dig at everybody else now. It's just getting beyond a joke.
Yeah, I'll put this out there. I know a lot of people get on with or like Jamie, whatever, but I think he's another one that's been a little bit naive, and he's been played as well.
He's definitely been played, but he's a snidey guy, I think. That's the way it is now, and I can't change my opinion.
Yeah, I know you felt, when Steve.
That was disgraceful.
Yeah.
And that was a stab in the back. So that's, as far as I'm concerned, the guy doesn't exist. He's a non-entity.
Morning,
he does the right, Jojo.
Fuck's sake, Joe, there's hundreds of people out there who don't like you, man. Come on.
Yeah, I'm a liability.
But see, they don't know you half of here. That's the problem, Joe. Once you talk to you and you're not on YouTube, things are totally different. You know that, and I know that.
Of course, but then I didn't use my real name on YouTube there. It's a what?
Definitely not.
You get what I mean? Fucking everybody knows it. Everybody knows it because I doxed myself. But then I've got a nasty habit of finding out that cunts are what a day hangs to me, and then I preempt them a day before they get a chance. I sometimes realise when people are like coming to cunt and taking me down the garden path and that, and then I'll do their punchline for them before they get a chance to do it. I've got a nasty habit of doing that. You know what I mean? So I'll dox myself. I'm not really that bothered, man. Like, I sleep well at night with my door lying open. Like, I didn't really care, to be fair. But the thing is, it's a different in Scotland. In Scotland, if you come in my house when I'm sleeping, I get 90 seconds to do what the fuck I want, and I ain't getting done for nothing. And that's a fact.
That's correct.
Right? That's it. I've done things to the police when they've come in my house and they've woke me up. Aye, and they were too close to me when they woke me up, to be fair. And there's nothing they can do about it. There's 90 seconds. That's how the law is. So, granted, I play on that. You know what I mean? But why would I know? It's the law. It's how it works. You know what I mean? So I'm not scared of anybody coming in my house and waking me up. You know what I mean? I'm scared of what I'll do to them, to be fair. Aye? You know what I mean? To be fair. Because I'm going to get remanded through committal, probably a couple of extensions.
I'm
that's
alright,
the end of it. You know what I mean?
I
know. My bitch will try and lick you, though. You get what I mean?
I'm talking about my wife, no my bitch.
I know, I can. I'm just taking the piss, innit? Wordplay.
Yeah, well, she doesn't fucking hear you.
Of course. I'm hoping you're upstairs.
No, I'm doing it.
You're in the hut, even better, man. Safe.
But,
but no, like it's YouTube, man. You've got to have a laugh, and if you can't have a laugh, then what I mean. Like I didn't understand that. Like folk will come into and folk moaned about cesspit.
Is that Jason
right?
beside you up the top right?
The thing with the code
Jason,
in the name.
Morning, son.
Hi,
Sorry.
mate. How you doing?
Right?
Bad.
Everybody's all good. Everybody thinks you're funny. Everybody loves your honesty and all the rest of it until you're honest with them as a friend, and then you're a cunt, right?
Aye.
And that's how it is. Nobody can take things as jokes. They can't just like me and Zara, right? We can rip treasure off each other, right? But the minute the live's finished, man, that's gone. The same with me and Shell. We can go for fucking 1 to 10, boom, rip right into each other, but it's gone after that. It's just words. It's just either you're taking the piss or it's what you feel at the time.
That's what it is. But that's the thing, right? You've made another valid point, by the way, right? So you could rip the piss out of me, and you know for a fact it wouldn't bother me one way or another, right?
Yeah.
But if somebody else that I don't particularly like does it, then it fucking winds me up something terrible.
Of course, and that's human nature.
Aye, there's a difference.
But that's human nature.
We're all sitting here and we speak to each other on a daily basis. The 5 years that are sitting here, it's very near every other day we speak. And I've had a bad word with you, Tyrone. I don't think so. Jason,
no, I don't think so.
Ministry, no. Did we ever fall out at one time, Ministry? I'm not sure.
No, I think you were a bit disappointed that Steve was on. Having a go there once, and
but you learned
about the drama. You brought it up to him that the drama had got a bit too much, which it had done. It had descended a bit. Chat and panel had descended a bit further than I would have.
I also understand, Ministry, that you've got to give everybody a due and a chance. Right? That's fair enough. Give everybody a chance until they fuck up.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
So that's fair. I'm pissed with Grip.
Well,
Cheeky chops. What's he done to you? Oh, who is it that's timing out? Was it JPM that was timing Shady out? And who was the other boy? Big up JPM anyway. Fuck it.
Yeah, I did say on my live, I think it was yesterday, because I didn't realise how bad it was between Binksy and Shady on Jace's a couple of months ago.
Binksy, what a lovely lassie, too.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful to talk to and to look at. So,
yeah, Shady jumped on Grips and she dropped off straight away because of it. So I made a point at the start of my live, saying, because Binksy's come on mine in the past, if ever she's on panel and he comes backstage, he ain't coming on. But he's been behaving.
Valid point again. Who would you rather have, Shady or Binksy?
Binks all the way.
Binksy, sorry.
I didn't see what he did to Binksy, to be fair. So.
My tongue's
I didn't even ken he did anything to Binksy. This is the first I've heard about it, to be fair.
They're the row and
I ken that Chubby and Binksy had a set too about a couple of times a while ago, and that's I knew
same
that.
Same live, I think. Joe's same live, I think it was. Maybe.
Oh, right, okay. So the tag teamed up basically.
Yeah.
But that's what they do. Have you noticed that as well? When one starts, another one, there's a wee group of them.
Aye, but you could say that about me and Zara too, eh? You know what I mean? You get what I mean? So kind of again, it's kind of human nature, man. You see your mate having a go, you know what I mean, and then they get a bit shit back, and then you're like, "Hey, you cut it." You know what I mean? That's how it is, man.
It's the old adage, Joe. You're enemy, right? Enemy, if you know what I mean.
I can, but if we all agree it's human nature, right? This is like one of the things that kind of like I get stuck at, right? When you say to people, but it's human nature, they're like, I can, right? I can. So if it's human nature, why do we get so annoyed about it? Do you get what I'm saying? Like
Sure.
I'm talking about in the reverse. Like it's human
Right.
nature for us to dislike these things. So why do we get annoyed when it's disliked?
Well,
If you get what I mean, aye. That makes sense.
Aye.
Like if you put it in the reverse, if you get what I mean, aye. Like we shouldn't get annoyed when we dislike it if it's human nature, should we? We should try and let it flow over us, and
Fully,
what
man.
stuck back. But I ken it's hard because even I get triggered. Get what I mean?
Yeah.
Aye.
We all get
It is.
triggered with certain things, especially if somebody says something about my grandchild, which is a fucking
Yeah.
no-no with me.
Aye.
Right? There should be no mention of her on here, apart from that's a lovely photo, Rab, basically.
Aye, but that's not what he was saying. He was
No,
trying to
he
say
was
you were
being- he was
trying to say
being
you were
weird.
nonce because you had a picture
Aye.
of your grandbaby.
Correct.
Fucking weirdo.
First time I've ever been called that in my life. Do you know that? I'm the biggest. I don't know. You all know the story with me. I've been with my wife for 40 odd years. Do you know what I mean?
Aye,
I've
but you've
never
got to
fucked-
realise, Robert, right? I figured this out a wee while ago, right? Like I remember, like I had stopped playing fucking Xbox 360 for ages, right? Right. I went back on Xbox Live like a couple of years later, right? And I was playing Call of Duty, and it was on a multiplayer thing, right? And this individual went, "Oh man, you're a beast at this game," and I went, "What the fuck?"
I know.
Right? And that it was at that point I found out that the word beast in gaming means good.
Well, do you know?
Like, you get what I'm saying? Things are used now, and like, I'm not saying he was using it in a different context, but everything's so much more flippant now. It's
That's
no, you get
It's
what
the
I mean?
big boy
No,
that's on the chase. They call him the beast. And I was like, fuck's sake.
you're joking me. There's actually somebody who in the stage
Aye,
called the
he's
beast.
called the beast, the big fat guy. Right?
Yeah.
Fuck off.
His name comes from America, and it
Morning,
means a totally
Mauricio.
different thing.
Mental.
No worries, tight. I saw
But
you.
they brought it here. Isn't it?
Aye, well, that's what I'm saying. So things just constantly get overused now.
Aye. Who disappeared there? Oh,
Tyrone, he left a message in the back. He's got a few things to do, so.
right, Tyrone. I'll see you later, mate. You have a good day.
I'm fading fast as well. I ain't been to bed yet. So
Well, I'm just up. I feel as though I could go back to bed, Jason, to be honest. I had a horrible sleep
But,
last night.
there's been some funny streams this morning and yesterday. So
Well, I'm quite glad I missed them on. I didn't get drawn into it, to be
right,
honest.
yeah, no worries. Good to talk to you. I'll definitely talk to you again soon. Excellent.
Right, Jason, I'll catch
That's
up.
okay.
I was in your chat last night for a wee while.
Ah, that was fun, wasn't it?
I didn't stay long. I was knackered last night. I don't know what it was.
Yeah,
Still
weather.
yawned.
It's the
Horrible.
hot weather, isn't it? But you're
Aye.
always welcome, Rob. Always welcome, man.
Thanks for that.
All
right,
right.
I'll catch up with you later.
Yep.
You take
Cheers,
care
guys.
as well.
Adios.
Cheers, man. Cheers.
Ah, Jay.
Yeah,
You been up all night, ministry?
No. I was off pretty early last night, but like you, I had a really, really crap sleep.
Aye,
Uh,
some weird
Up
night last
down
night.
all night I was. So
Listen, I looked at right. I didn't even know we didn't get any rain last night, but I was up getting a coffee, or I was up doing something, and I was sitting with Jackie, and I was looking towards Glasgow, right. And as I told you, I'm only 5 minutes away, and I could see the big black clouds in the distance, but I could also see the rain. I've never seen rain like that in my life.
Ah, it's going to be pelting,
It was just like a big sheet.
Yeah.
And then Jackie came down a wee while later and said, "Did you see all that rain in Glasgow?" I says, "No, it was on the news seemingly, and I missed it." But it missed us. We never got it.
Never got it here either. Starting to
No.
get clouds now, though. Tell you
Not
what,
me,
though,
that.
the weirdest rain I've ever seen, right? Was a place called Pennycook, right? Yeah.
Aye.
Right? And I swear to fuck, it was raining
Good
on
luck,
one
man.
half of the street, raining on one half of the
Right.
street and no on the other.
I was just going to say the same. The chapel at Craig Newt, Joe, you'll know where that is, right? Right on the main drag. I was going to work, and it was like a sheet. Just as I hit the chapel, it was a sheet of rain. And see, when I passed the chapel, there were no rain. It was what anti-phone. It was one of the weirdest things I'd ever seen.
Aye, man.
Same kind of idea. Weird weather. But I've got the sun, the sun's out. My wee Wendy hut's quite, it's nice. It's not cold. So, What about
Yeah,
I'm not due
Had
rain
about
for
a
Monday.
20-minute shower here, but it's saying thunderstorms, but whether I believe the computer or not, I
Well,
don't know.
I know it says that all the time, Gripper. I'll check the weather.
Ministry.
Oh, sorry, Ministry. Oh,
That's
hey,
right.
listen, getting cod gripper's no a bad thing, Ministry, so don't worry about it.
No, it's not. No.
But he's
It
not
just means I
accusing you
must
being a
think
gripper
it
clone or
means
anything like that.
that. Right, here we go. BBC weather a day. Hey, today 22 degrees. About 12 o'clock, it's got a wee lightning bolt. 19% chance of rain. Then we're up to about 30% by 5 o'clock, and then it disappears again at 2 o'clock in the morning. There's none. But
Oh, indeed.
tomorrow, I think, it's to be the big day for the rain, eh?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's to be really bad everywhere. They reckon some places in England are going to get 30 mil in 2 hours. That's a lot of fucking rain.
There'll be some flood warnings.
Aye.
Yeah. They don't have
So
to worry about the hosepipe
any-
ban then, will they?
Well,
No.
I seen that they were going to start a hosepipe ban. You get fucking 5 or 6 days of sunshine and everybody's screaming for a hosepipe ban, eh?
Aye.
Mental.
We live in a country though where they go, oh, it's hot. Watch what you're doing. Fuck off, you fucking.
Well, you were saying yesterday to me about the pubs and clubs are going to start putting chairs back outside. They're wanting to. Morning, Peter. Good to see you, mate. They're wanting to put chairs outside again and attract
Morning, Peter.
people. So if the weather's getting better, that's a great thing for me because that's. See, when I go abroad, I love sitting outside a pub in the sun, having a beer or a coffee, just watching the world go by.
Well, it was relatively roasting. You could sit in Edinburgh the other day there, you could sit outside with a pint and you get halfway down your pint and it was warm. And you only
Aye.
really normally get that when you're abroad, let's be fair.
That's right. That's exactly
You get
what
what I
it's
mean? Well, especially in Scotland anyway. It's not very often you sit outside and your pint gets warm.
Well, I had to tip half a bottle of beer away last night because it was warm. And I only had it, I didn't even have it 20 minutes. You know what I mean?
Aye. You know what I mean? So
Aye, so you're right. And that's, hey, I'm not complaining. I love the hot weather.
no, I'm not complaining. I've got a
Long
fan.
may it continue.
I've got a big fucking stand-up.
You coming up for a blair, Peter? One up.
You know? I
I'm
just put the
bored
fan
talking
on.
to Joe now. I talk to him every day. We need fresh blood.
Yeah, I got to admit, got to be careful in the sun, so I'm not the biggest fan of it, to be honest.
Oh, the burn ministry, aye.
Oh, within minutes.
Well, see, I'm quite lucky, and I don't know if it's just the skin I've got, but all our family, even Jackie, I don't know if you heard me telling, and I'm going to say a word here that somebody might not like, but Jackie's boss, who is a Pakistani, I'll explain that first, right, and has been for the last 40 years, calls her Jackie the Paki. You see the minute the sun comes out, she looks like one of them, right? So all the family call her that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, some people it's just, you know.
I'm the same. I go brown. I mean, I'm sitting here the now, and Jackie said to me the other day, she says, Christ almighty, look at your legs. Pure brown.
Yeah, I'll just go red and then peel.
And then burn.
Yeah.
Last time in South Africa, till I was 5, mind. So that's what I was going to say. I don't know if that's got anything to do with it, the fact that I was in South Africa. It's not exactly cold out there in the morning.
No. Yeah, probably got a high tolerance for the UV rays.
I think that's the only bit that ever burns in me, ministry, is my nose. See the bridge of my nose where my glasses sit? That bit burns. But I've got a slight scar there for an old boxing match, so it might just be the scar that goes. Morning, Gypsy Dave. Good to see you, mate.
Has he woke up now, has he?
Well, I was on to Gripper's channel and it's total silence if they all fell asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the people that were awake and able to leave did.
I don't know. I woke up, saw they were live, went in, saw Bright was on panel, so I asked, what's the non-streamer up there for?
Right, I've never had an issue with him either. And I'll give the lad his due. You know, and I know he's obviously got mental health problems. The lad.
He's got water in the brain.
Well, that just says it all. So I would take anything that lad he says with a pinch of salt, Joe.
Well,
Right? He doesn't mean. He doesn't
No,
mean to
no,
be
no. He
nasty.
chased me about the internet for over a year to tell me I was wrong about his dream. It wasn't his deed sister. It was his babysitting niece.
Right. Well,
And it was a gooey dream. So for me, as
I
far
would
as I'm
still let it
concerned,
go, mate. It's no worth.
no, I've never let it go. It's no in me to let that go.
Ah,
Hey, dude, listen.
you've
I
got
let
to-
it go. I left him. I said cheerio, and a year later he came in and cast it all back up. Man.
all right.
Get what I'm saying? So
Well,
too late
people
for him.
with mental health problems do that, and some people can't let things go.
It is what it is, man.
I know.
He still chases me down and gives me shit for it, bro.
Does he?
And then if you
I've
ask him
always
about it,
spoke to the boy. I've never had an
he'll
issue.
say that he never said that and it's all lies. But if you go on my page, it's there. It's word.
Aye.
To be fair, so
Well.
it is what it is. You know what I mean? I just didn't like him. It's what it is. I didn't rinse him every time I see him. I would just ask a question like, "What's he there for?" But then that's
See,
it.
I've got to that stage now that if I don't like you, I just blank you. I find it a lot easier on my heart and a lot easier on them.
I very
There's
rarely
no
see
point-
him. To be
No
fair,
point in getting upset,
you know what I mean?
especially going a game on YouTube.
I'm very rarely on a panel when he's there. I didn't look at the chat 9 times out of 10 when I'm on a panel. So I very rarely see him.
Aye.
You know what I mean? To be fair, but it was only him and Ulick that were awake. So everybody else was asleep.
Come on, Lordy.
Morning, Lordy. Aye, so how long are you on for ministry?
Not sure. Not too long. I don't generally do long ones, so
I think that's the best way. We short ones, everybody in for a blether and a hello and a way and no drama.
No, it's just because ministry is quite short.
yeah. I got short. I got short attention span.
Aye,
I start getting fidgety.
What's your plans for the day anyway? If it's no raining.
Not a lot really, to be honest. It's
Aye, I would
raining
say.
at the moment, but no, I've had a busy week. I was out yesterday morning. Might go out this afternoon. I will be going out with the dog. I was out with the dog at 5 this morning.
Yeah.
I will be going out later on with the dog, and yeah, my missus might pipe up this afternoon and say she wants to go out for a coffee or something to eat or something, you know.
Yeah. I tell you, if it's pissing down with rain and thunder and lightning, I'll be out in that shit. That's for sure.
I like getting out.
Oh,
I need to get water because I need trousers for this funeral on Thursday. So I'm going to, and my brother-in-law, the Jackie looks after, he needs new trousers and a shirt and everything as well. So we'll need to make I think Marguerite's coming to pick us up tomorrow. And we're all going to go. But on a lighter note, did I tell you my motor passed its MOT yesterday?
Aye, you said that.
Aye. I've done 1,200 miles for last year now.
You're a lazy cunt.
For its last MOT. I only use that, the big motor I only use for going on holiday with.
Yeah.
It's only done, I think it's done about 17,000 miles, 16 or 17,000 miles for I bought it. And it's that's its second MOT.
I
So
bet you
it'll
collect
be
cars.
5-year-old. Aye, we're 5-year-old now.
I bet you collect cars though. You know
Aye, I know that. I've got a few up in the garage. And I've got the 2008 GT. I use that. Well, Jackie uses that, and I just jump that if I want to go somewhere.
Aye.
Because it's
When
automatic.
you gain is that the Type R away again?
Aye, he's away. I didn't even get a run it. Do you know that? If I fucking went, my boys are on to racing motors ministry, right? We've all, my fault. Even my daughter's got a 270 odd brake ST RS Fiesta, sorry, and she's a fucking an animal on a motor and all, and so's the boys. So there's always fast motors kicking about.
Yeah.
Our Gary has an M1 BMW with 560 odd brake, does 200 odd mile an hour. This motor, right? It was one of the quickest in Britain, and he's a fucking nutter. So this Type R he's got's one of the quickest ones up here and all. Mind, they're both mechanics, my boys. That's what they do. They like doing that. That's their bag, if you like. Well, Robert's got a 206 GTI, an old 206 GTI. And it's sitting in the garage under wraps along with my old Cortina. And there's a few other things up. I think we've got a Fiesta ST, I know. Running about 300 brake. That's garage. A wee white one.
Yeah. I popped to see a mate the other day, and I was surprised to see him driving his VW Corrado.
Corrado.
Yeah, I said, "What are you doing driving that?" He's got a couple of year old RS3 special edition thing, and he said, "Oh, I fucking love it." I said, "Why don't you drive?"
Corrado's a beautiful motor, ministry.
Yeah, he said, while the Corrado's fucking late, he said, "No, I got it running perfectly." He said, "This is my everyday like." So
I wouldn't be driving it every day, mind you. I'd only take it out when the sun's shining, to be honest.
Yeah, I think that's his idea. Because he does keep it in. He keeps it in his lockup. He's got a Mark III RS there as well, which has just been straightened and painted.
Fiesta RS.
Yeah, no, Escort.
Oh, an Escort. An RS 2000, right.
Which is being rebuilt at the moment, and he's got. I don't know if he sold it. He was on about selling it. A Renault 5 GT Turbo. But all in parts, and it was all up on the shelf. But he was like,
we used to go to the Banter race.
You know, he was thinking of getting rid of that one to finish off the fucking.
Hey, there'll be a few pound in that ministry. The Renault 5 GT Turbo fetched great money.
That's why it's worth more. It's worth more as it was, as a shell and bits and. Everything was there, then worth more than his fucking RS Turbo, Yeah. But yeah, I'm not sure if he sold it, to be honest. I don't think he has, because I was up there yesterday, and the mezzanine in there was still full of parts. So
I can always remember, as I was saying, we used to go to Cowdenbeath for the banger racing, Joe, and a weekend, right? And there were maybe 30, 40 motors. If you went about here, would go up. We all used to race. I had the cause at the time. But there was one motor I couldn't beat, which was Rab Elliott had built it, and it was a 205, right? But it wasn't a GTI. He put an MI16 turbo engine in it, right? This thing was a fucking scary motor back then. And we're coming back for Cowdenbeath, and there was one of the laddies had a Renault 5 GT Turbo Raider, it was called. I think it's got a bigger engine than the 1400 that was in the original ones. And it was quick. So we're sitting, and he's fucking come up, and we're racing. So we're neck and neck, and I'm starting to draw a wee bit further away from him, right? And then he's back up, and then a wee bit, and then he's back up, and then bang. Big puff of smoke. Renault at the side of the road with the engine burnt right out.
Oh, no.
We were hitting 150, 160 mile an hour, ministry. Come on. The wee engines can go quick for a short time. That's the thing. But they can't keep it up for long.
Right.
No, they can't, no. I've witnessed a few, a few of the smaller cars go pop.
Okay.
Fiestas.
Quite funny, though, isn't it?
I saw one of them
go. That's quite funny, Joe, because I had a full motor. We were all pissing ourselves. And I know it's at somebody else's expense, but that's the way it was. At the end of the day,
at least you can you were pushing it. At least you can you were pushing it as hard as you can.
Oh, I was pushing his motor.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I was coming back to Blackpool in the Coddy, right? And I was doing 165 mile an hour exactly. I was doing, and my fucking prop shaft went. See the knuckle joint? There's a rubber bit in it, and half of it fucking blew out the motor, didn't it? And it was like, you see the Flintstones motors when they go bump, 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 bump. That's what it was like all the way up the fucking road. £150 for a knuckle. Never forget it.
Big grommet.
Oh, I was raging. because I get beat. That was a 3-litre twin turbo Supra I was racing at the time. But aye, they're the joys of having motors and breaking them and sorting them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We had every spare we needed. McLaren's Coachworks, my mate's father owned that, so he had a big scrapyard in the back. None has ever bought petrol ministry. We just used to go to the scrappers and drain all the petrol at them. Because you'd be surprised the amount of petrol that was left in some of the scrap motors. I mean, full tanks.
Yeah, that's how I learned to drive, was buying 50 quid scrappers. You know, so I went for everything, fucking marinas, escorts.
Aye.
Fucking learning to drive in them on the mountain, fucking bonkers. And the scrappy had no problem selling them to us. No,
of course not.
We had
scrap
we actually,
time.
it was an old marina we had down the back of the Clyde in the farmer's field. We got permission to put it in there. One of the old fields he did use. And we used that was how I learned to drive. Just get up and down a field.
That's all you need, though. You know what I mean? Private property, you can do that shit. Good to go.
Everybody went up and got a gallon of petrol, and we dog it down the park and fucking run about all day in this motor.
I think you get away back in the day, though.
You're not allowed to do that now. You get a fucking jail now.
Mm-hmm.
I think they should. I think there's a place in Hamilton that they. I don't know if it's 14 or 15, and it's minis, and they'll teach kids to drive there. I was always hoping they would bring in the same laws in America. I'm sure it's 15, and they get taught at school, and that's a great way to teach people to drive.
It is.
Making it part of the curriculum, basically.
Aye, but you've got to realise that that's part of the curriculum in America, because that's at the same time they're taking the oath of allegiance as well. Do you get what I mean? Aye.
Right.
You get what I mean? They take their oath of allegiance around about the same time and all that, to the flag and all that kind of stuff, and that's because
that's not a bad thing.
Freedom. You get a certain amount of freedom when you can drive, and that's driving home, that they're free and all that kind of stuff.
In Holland, it's the same idea. So you get your provisional in Holland. Say you stay in Breda, you're allowed to go 15-mile circle if you like. You can't go outside that 15-mile unless you go to the police station and say, listen, I'm going to visit my gran and she stays in blah, blah, and they give you written permission. But that's for the younger drivers. Before they've actually passed their test. And they don't need them to sit with them as long as you go through their first part.
Not too bad, huh?
No, well, that was back then. I get stopped with the police. I was there as you know for a couple of years, and I had my motor with me, and they were doing it was for drugs and drink. Thankfully, they never fucking drug tested me that night, or I'd be fucked. I was going to the bank to get money because Jackie was getting home the next day, and I got a pull in, and it was like cones, and there's no way out it. You go to get through this bit, and they're this big blonde, like fucking nicest Polish woman I've ever seen in my life. And she starts talking to me in Dutch, and I'm just nodding my head everything she says. And then I says, listen, I'm Scottish. I don't speak. Right. So that was fine. She started talking to me in English. And she says, right, on you go. Just wanted to know where you were going. Fucking brilliant. That was the only time I ever had any interaction with the police.
But it's
very rarely see the police in Holland.
No, like it was weird though. Like I've been a couple of times. No, I knew was like it's legal to smoke dope in cafes, right?
That's right.
But you're not allowed to walk about the streets with it.
Aye, that's now. But when I was there,
but no, this is back then too. But they weren't allowed to search you, so you could walk about with the street with it because they weren't allowed to search you anyway.
Aye.
But the law says you weren't allowed to walk. You had to consume it in the cafe. You weren't allowed to have it in transit. That's what it basically was. But everybody would just buy more.
Well, see, when I was there, it was more lax, Joe. They didn't bother because we used to go down to the canals on a nice day and sit and have a puff and a picnic. And And there'd be other people, and they'd sit down in the bench beside you or that, and they'd light a spliff up and they'd give you a draw. It wasn't, and you've never met this guy or woman in your life before, but everybody was friendly as fuck.
Yeah. Stoned though.
Well, aye, it's not a bad thing because you never seen any violence.
No, that's true. Like when was the last time you saw mad stoners fighting?
I've never seen a stoner fight.
And if you ever have seen stoners fighting, it's fucking funny.
Aye, it's handbags at dawn.
It's not even that, man. They're not even shouting. It's like, fuck you, man. fucking.
If you get anybody in the chat hasn't been to Holland and experienced and you don't need to smoke, you can get a cake, space cakes, whatever. You should really try it. I sat and watched it.
Wild experiences with fucking cake out there.
It's brilliant, man. It's the honest to God. The last time I was there, I've got a wee cafe that I always used to go to in Amsterdam, right? And it's still there. It's just off the square. But the good thing is there's a shawarma burger shop right next to it. And I love a shawarma burger after a puff. So we were in, and I'm sitting having my smoke and a coffee. And there were about 8 people sitting at our table, and they were Americans. And one of the lassies didn't smoke, but she got the space cake with, I swear to God, 20 minutes after the cake, she never stopped giggling. She was the life and soul of that fucking pub for the full day.
Yeah, so, I got certain, when I go, I got certain cafes that.
You can get your favourites.
Yeah, I like to get out of the city centre. There's the Vogel Park, which is a big park just south of the city centre.
Aye.
And like you said, fucking people are so fucking friendly and polite. There's bars in the park, there's food. We just acted like typical Brits, took our tops off, rolled them up for pillows, and just smoked their heads off.
Aye. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
I like Tilburg. I stayed in Tilburg for a year, and I stayed in Breda for a year. I moved jobs. I'd done 6-month contracts, and I ended up at Fokker, Frankens. So I was doing like aeroplane carburetors, things like that. But I used to get into my work in a pair of shorts and a t-shirt, and I would get a white pair of gloves with my white pair of cotton gloves. The stuff I was getting was glass-proof, ministry. I don't know if you know what that means, but it's when you put 2 faces of metal together, it's like glass. And if you've ever put glass together and tried to peel it off, it's a fucking nightmare. You've got to slide it.
Yeah.
It's to be petrochemical sealed, and that's what glass-proof is. So they don't use seals in it. It's face-to-face stuff. So it's going to be perfect.
Specialised. Very specialised.
It's specialised. It was back then. Now it's CNC machines do it. Oh, hold on. Wife.
Yeah, I'm going to get ready to go take the bug out as well.
Oh, just a one, please.
Yeah, I'm not going to be on for too much longer. Just a short one this morning. I thought, after seeing that Chubby jump up on grips this morning and what he was trying to make Ron say over and over. I know me and Ron don't see eye to eye, but Chubby was trying to instigate something very out of order. So, I thought
I'm sure it'll get clipped, man. I never saw it, man. I didn't do much rewatching either, man, because it's like fucking. You're looking for something when they've been on for fucking 12 hours, man. Fuck that. I'm not watching 12 hours to go and find 5 minutes or something. Can't man.
No, I'm not one really for watching lives back. That's just me. I'm just too fucking lazy. I'm in the moment. You know what I mean? When I get up in the morning, whoever's live, I'm in that moment. I watch whatever. I don't really go back and if there isn't anything live to watch, and I just flick over to my other channel and start watching all farming and fucking fishing and outdoor videos from the States. So I'm really not one for watching lives back.
No,
I like the interaction of the actual live.
No, I just didn't rewatch nothing back, man. Because it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Didn't see the point. You know? Though when I see most of it is bullshit anyway, you get what I mean?
Yeah.
You know? It's alright if it's a topic of conversation, like, you know, but like it has to have like some kind of like merit and something. Like,
Yeah.
they're talking about some fucking mad shit the government's coming out with and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Somebody's been on there. It tells what they're talking about, then I'll maybe go back and rewatch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get a different perception of the topic. But no just for like just rewatching it, like just for the sake of rewatching it. Man. And no for like things like Chubby being a bit of a dick, because
No. Things like that happen every day, don't they?
you know what I mean? It's kind of his MO, man. Plus, somebody somewhere will have clipped that shit, more than likely.
Yeah.
And you'll get to see it in a couple of days anyway. Yeah. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? You know. I missed it all, man.
So have you got anything on today?
Yeah, I need to deal with Miss Piss, and I'll need to actually do a couple of things with my fish, to be fair. Should really do my flares and shit, you know. But, you know, see how hot it gets. Yeah, I can't justify using a steam mop.
No.
It's not going to work there, is it?
Fucking unbearable.
But I'm too lazy just to go and get the other mop.
I've been using it because I've got wooden floors all the way through downstairs, and I've got like a cloth mop thing. I've got a steam one, but I just can't be asked. My normal mop, I think it's got about, I don't know, 20 strands left on it, so I can't be asked to buy a new head.
Well, I'm doing a brush out because I've got Elvis's hairline everywhere. I can see it when he's shaking when he comes in. I've got a wooden floor in the hut as well.
That's why I've got wooden floors right through, Robert, because of the dog.
It's easy just to brush up.
Yeah, I get arsey about fucking dog hair and carpets and shit.
I'm ashamed. I hate that. It's the smell ministry. You know yourself. You've had dogs all your life.
That's why you get a shark.
Smell.
I only have one carpet, and it's my stairwell and my hallway. You know what I mean? It used to
I'm the same. I've got a carpet in the stair.
But
and,
the stairwell where it been like it's all brick here, it's like there's no the stairwell doesn't actually have a heater in it. It's like the coldest room ever as well. So that's why the carpet's in there. But fucking apart from that, I just use the shark, man. Shark fucking does the damage. To be fair,
I've got a wee Henrietta.
I wouldn't swear by them, but like I'll be fair. Like I used to be Dyson and the DC 4050 Petians, and like I got a shark, and I've never went back to Dyson.
Well, I've got a twin speed Henry, but I've also got a new vac, which is the grey Henry, but it hasn't got any eyes or anything, so I changed its name to Novak, so it's Novak Djokovic. But that's the commercial one. It's the one they use for car valeting. But I bought it because it's more powerful look than
I had the Henry,
with
the twin speed as well for the shop. But Stephanie pulled that off me when I gave her the shop. I had one up in the loft because I've got carpet in my loft, and she's fucking Jackie took that one into James's, so she bought me a new Henrietta, but it's only a single speed one. I don't really like it as much as my Henry, to be honest.
Yeah, my industrial vac is only a single speed.
Aye, they're cracking. But I had the Dyson as well, Joe, and I fucking hated them. They were always breaking. You know, they never lasted, I don't think.
Aye, but what I found was With the Dysons, there was only like, for each model, there was only like 2 certain parts that would always fail, right? And they gave you a 5-year warranty. And if you just phoned up and told them those parts had failed the normal ways they would fail, they would just keep sending you the
Yeah,
parts.
no, and then I
Yeah,
got one of the Hoovers, the pet Hoover with all the pet things on it, and Jackie lit it for and broke the handle. So that was that scrapped, and it wasn't even a year old.
No,
Aye.
that's the damage. But like when I dug of the cat, it picked up everything, to be fair.
We're sitting here talking about fucking Hoovers. Do you know? I can tell you something right now. My grandfather would never have spoke about a Hoover in his life.
But that Hoover would have been witchcraft for your granddad.
No, that Hoover would have been my nana. It just shows you how things have changed in the last 40 years. Talking about Hoovers.
Yep.
Crazy horse. Well, anyway, look, I'm going to bounce. Enjoy
Right,
your-
son, I'll give you a bell after, right?
Catch.
At some
Yeah,
point.
no worries, Stu. I'm going to be shut
man.
down in a minute.
Man.
Okay?
Go.
Right, I'll catch you later.
Catch.
Cheers.
Yeah, later.
Aye, Ministry, I'll catch up with you later then if that's you going.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop off and get a few things done.
Aye,
Like,
I'm
I
just
got-
going to sit and watch telly for the next
Yeah. I'll be listening to someone on YouTube, but I don't feel right unless I don't like do long ones anyway. But I don't feel right unless
It's a bit boring sometimes.
yeah, put the Uber around and
Aye, well, I'm going to do that as well.
I'm a bit like that, you know.
Aye, I like my place clean.
So
And the big
yeah.
man, he's actually lying. I brought his he's got a big kind of grey blanket, so I put that at the door, and I've put a big cushion down, and he's out for the count. He's actually lying, snoring his head off. So I don't want to hoover the now to wake. I'll wait till he wakes up. Right, I'll pop off as well. Thanks for letting us on, everybody in the chat. I'll catch up with you later, people. You all take care and have a nice day. You take Ministry. No doubt I'll see you later on the night somewhere.
Yeah, I'll be around.
All right, son. You take care. Thanks.
Good
Cheers
bit.
now. Cheer it.
Oh, nice little chilled live. I thought I would, just say a little bit about what I saw on Grips this morning because I haven't addressed in any way or, I said what I feel about what went on with Chubster the other day, but, he's complicit and he was played, so I'll just leave it with that. He can say what he wants and whatever. So I'm just going to play a video and I'm out. Ciao for now.
Right, that's it, you wanker. I have had enough of your bullshit. Waffle. Fucking downright head spin. So for you it's a red card and a fine of 3 coffees. 4 grams of puff and a Henry of Charles. Ha 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 ha. Horse's ass.